What is going on, guys? Noah Brew here with another video, and today we're going to be talking about making your first $1,000 profit drop shipping. Now, this was a request from one of my subscribers, and I'm actually pretty excited to hop on and talk about this because it's not really like specifically 1K, right? Like it's not like how to make $1,000, but like most people just wonder like how does this end up being profitable, and how do I take stores from nothing? Obviously, you lose a little bit of money in the beginning, when you're just testing, but then eventually, you make your first $1,000 profit, and then you make your first $5,000 profit, and then you make 10, and it just grows and grows and grows like as you scale it. So I just wanted to hop on camera and talk a little bit about what would go into making your first $1,000 profit. Like the first step is to find a winning product, obviously, but we're going to be digging deeper into that. And I'm also going to give you guys some tips on how to lose less money as you're testing and also make more money once you're ready to scale. Step number one, obviously do the math. Don't just say like $1,000. You have to know your numbers. And yes, this is something that should be obvious, right? Like you don't need to tell me, but I'm going to point it out here because I want you to understand the difference between, a lower margin product and a higher margin product. Okay, so we're going to talk about this. So let's say you have a $20 margin product, like you're buying it for $5, you're selling it for 25, right? You test it on Facebook, it ends up doing really good, and your average cost per purchase is $10. So that would basically equivalent to you put $1 in and you get $2 out in profit. So like let's say I hand you $1 and you hand me $2 back, so I made $1 profit, and it's just that on scale. So it's not bad, but with these numbers you would need to make 100 sales with these exact numbers, by the way, to hit $1,000 profit. On the contrary, and this is why I talk about higher ticket products a lot, and we're going to be focusing on that a lot in this video, is if you have a $100 margin product, let's say you buy it for 50 and you sell it for 150. You buy it for 100, you sell it for 200, whatever it is, and you have a $60 average cost per purchase, you would only need 25 sales to make $1,000 profit. Now, it's not exactly like this, right? Like there's no cookie cutter way to know when you're going to make $1,000 profit. It's just like make it real, like make it real for yourself that you can actually make $1,000 profit. It doesn't have to be like this thing that seems unreachable, or maybe only lucky people get it, or only special people, only certain types of people, because that's not the reality of it. The reality of it is its numbers, and if you can get good at this, it's more than possible for anybody to do it. Trust me, if I was able to do it, you will be able to do it. There's, I was pretty dumb when I first started out, let's just say that. Yeah, like obviously with higher ticket, you have a way higher cost per purchase, and you need to make a lot less sales to make your first $1,000. So knowing your numbers is very important. So before you test a product, you should always ask yourself, how many sales am I going to have to make every single day to hit my goal? Whether you want to make $100 a day profit, if you want to make 300, $1,000 a day, $5,000 a day, ask yourself how many sales you need to make, and is that even worth doing? Like, is it even worth testing a $20 margin product? Honestly, in my opinion, it's not. I shoot for margins above $50. I recommend the lowest ever that you should go is 25, and like that's if it's a really good product and you know that it's a winner and you can, get profitable right away. Other than that, if I'm testing something new, it's going to be something with a margin above 50, right? At least like 50 or 60, or, you know what I mean. Number two, lose less and make more. So when testing $80 to $100 margins, you lose less when you're testing. Let me explain. On average, I spend about $100 to $150 per product that I test. Mostly 100, sometimes 70, sometimes 150. Like it really depends on a lot of things. It depends on how many add to carts, how many like how promising is it, how does it have a sale already. There's a lot of different things, but mainly it averages between $70 to $150 per product that I test. On average, I would say that maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 of those products will make at least one sale. Even if they're not winners, they'll still grab one sale. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stick with it. If you've been testing for a while, you know what I'm talking about. As you're testing, you're going to get sales, and that's going to bring money back, which means you might spend $1,000, but in reality, you're only spending $700 because you got $300 back in sales or 300 bucks back in profit from the sales that just happened. So with higher margin, the cool thing about it is if you get, if you have 6 products that make one sale and you're testing $100 margins, that means instead of spending $1,000, you're only spending $400. This basically allows you to test a whole lot more products than you would have been able to before, simply because you're getting money back from testing. And this is what I like about high ticket, because it doesn't matter if it's a $20 margin or a $100 margin. I still spend around $100 testing it. So, but when you have like a $20 or $30 margin, you don't get as much money back, which means that you're putting more money into testing. So this is one very big pro to doing margins above 50 or above 100, is because you get more back when testing, which means you'll lose less in the beginning. And another thing to note is that when you do find a winner, it'll make up for that loss very quickly. Let me explain. The $60 to $100 margins I see are very profitable within the first 3 or 4 days, within the first week at least. It's very rare that I find a $20 margin or a $30 margin in the first week be really profitable, or profit more than $100 or more than a couple $100. I've seen $100 margins be profitable like $200 a day within the first week. And I'm not exaggerating. Like $100 margins, if you can get like a $40 to $50 CPP in the beginning, they will make you money in the short term, which doesn't usually happen when product testing unless you're doing these higher margins. And that's one thing that I like about it. And another thing is you have a lot more room for CPP fluctuations, and your cost per purchase will fluctuate. Okay, like some weeks it's going to be lower than other weeks, some weeks it's going to be higher than other weeks. And when you have that bigger margin, and trust me, this is going to help you make your first $1,000 profit. I know that it sounds like I'm just talking about high margin, but doing higher margin is literally the difference between taking a long time to make your first $1,000 and making it happen quicker. So pay attention here. You're going to have a lot more room for cost per purchase fluctuations. Let's talk about that. So having that larger margin is going to allow you to be able to deal with those fluctuations, which means more longevity for the product. You can leave your ads on longer. You can make more money, essentially, is what those two things mean. Another thing is like if you're making more money, that also means that you have more money to reinvest into finding another winner, or reinvest into testing new strategies for your current winner. And this is something like I've seen stores that are pushing 100 orders a day, but they're only making $100 profit every single day. That's like barely enough to like reinvest into a new store or reinvest into testing, because you test one thing and all your profit is gone for that day. So this will basically allow you to have all the benefit in the world. The only downside is like you have a little bit of a higher cost per purchase on average, but at the end of the day, if your margin is more than that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I want to talk about this case study where I took, absolutely nothing, maybe like $100 every couple of days, and turned it into a business that was generating $1,000 profit every single day in 3 months. Now, before I get into this, I am going to break down this exact strategy in a new series that I'm doing called 0 to 7 figure strategy. If you saw my old 0 to 6 figure strategy, I'm revamping it because the last time I made that was like 5 or 6 months ago. So I'm going to revamp it, and I'm actually calling it the 0 to 7 figure strategy. And this is a little look into what is going to be included in that series. So I hope that you're excited for that series, because I'm going to put a lot of time into making it. Starting from scratch, investing into testing a new product every other day. So that was the plan. We're just going to, spend a lot of time finding good products, and every other day we're going to have a new product up and ready to go. Now, we were still only testing one product at a time. Keep in mind, I only do test one product at a time, because once I have a winner, I want that store and that pixel and that ad account to be only working for that one winner. And then once I have that, then I move on into a new store. And this is exactly why. So we found the first winner within a week, right? Like we were testing maybe 4 or 5 products, and then the 5th one that we tested, or the 4th one that we tested, was a winner. And we spent a little bit of time scaling it up to about $100 profit every day. And we proceeded to reinvest that $100 per day profit into finding higher ticket winners. That means that we were going to spend, $100 every single day, and we were using $20 budgets while testing instead of 5. because we were simply just reinvesting at that point, which allowed us to test really big margins, right? Like $100 margins, $150 margins, those types of things. And every time we found a winner, we would go off, we would build it up to around $100 a day profit, and then we would build a new store and start testing again. So I'm telling you, we've been constantly testing for the past 2 months, while scaling the good ones in the background, but we haven't even really scaled them that much yet. But essentially what we've done is we've taken 6 or 7 winners, high ticket winners, each doing, $150, $200 a day profit. And now the store is making around $1,000 a day profit, all the stores combined. And we haven't even really started scaling them yet because we're just focused on finding more winners. This is a really good case study, of course, but this is duplicatable across numerous different people. So the point is after you make your first $1,000 profit, if you don't have a mentor, I would recommend reinvesting part of that into getting a mentor. You made your money, cool. Get better at it, make more. Your goal should now be to make 5K. Your goal should now be to make 10K. Reinvest some of it into getting some extra help, and also reinvest some of it into finding another winner, because you're already going to have your main winner. If that store is profiting, $100 a day, take that $100 per day, put it into a new store, and find another winner. And eventually you can have 6 or 7 winners, just like that case study that I was just talking about. And the last part that I want to cover is your focus. Like, where should your focus be when you're growing stores like this? And your focus should just be on finding a high ticket winner. Do your market research, use your brain and AliExpress to find high margin products, get a custom video made and test them. If you have the budget, test a new product every other day. If you're doing $20 per day budgets, test a new product every day, because those only need 1 day to see if it's going to work or not. And then once you do find a winner with these types of margins, making $1,000 profit will just happen. And I can promise you that if you can have a winner with a margin between 50 and $100, you'll just make $1,000, and then you can work on how to make 5,000, and then how to make 10,000, and then build that up consistently, and you'll be making $1,000 a day. Now, I'm not promising you that this is going to happen, but this is just stuff that I've proven over and over and over again with students and stores that I've grown, that it's kind of just a science for me at this point. And if you don't know me yet, this is what I do. I grow e-commerce stores, and I mostly just focus on higher ticket products. I know there's a lot of people out there that talk about, $10 margins, $15 margins, low ticket sells better, yada, yada, yada. But in reality, I've been doing this for over a year, which is nothing significant, but I've grown, over $2 million worth of stores. And in my experience, every single one that makes a substantial amount of profit is a higher margin. Those lower margin ones don't make that much money with Facebook ads. But yeah, that's it for this video. This is Noah Brewer. If you liked it, drop a comment, leave a like, subscribe. It really helps out my channel, and I appreciate all of you who do. But as for this video, that's it. This is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.